Hey guys, this is me, Kuya Paul KP, and you are watching NerdDirt. And this is gonna be a NerdDirt special, so it's a Nerd Dust. So what I'm doing right now is I just got off of work and I'm gonna be watching Avengers Endgame, and I am going to be doing a both spoiler-free and spoiler review for you guys. So if you guys watching the channel want a spoiler-free review, you're gonna watch the first part of this video, and then the second part of this video will be a heavily spoiler review of Avengers Endgame. So I'm headed there right now. I'm going to Edwards Cinema, which is near my house in West Covina. The very historic, well, it's been in like TV shows and stuff, so somewhat historic Edwards Cinema, and I'm gonna be watching it over there. It's assigned seating, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to get there on time. I even have a little bit of food to actually eat before the big movie comes out. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys immediately after this video, but for me it's gonna be about 5 or 6 hours. So see you guys. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back in my car. I just watched it. I actually watched it with a friend of mine, and it is past 1 o'clock in the morning. I think it's 1:10 in the morning on Friday. Just watched Avengers Endgame, and the first part of this review will be spoiler free, so I will not talk anything about the movie that will spoil it. I'm just gonna give you my review, and hopefully that makes you even want to watch the movie more. And then I'm gonna cut, and then we're gonna go into spoiler review, and then I can go into that as well too. But I will signal you so you'll know. If you don't want it spoiled, don't stop watching. Just stop watching, okay? But here, for right now, next 3 to 5 minutes, it's gonna be spoiler free. So here goes. The movie was really great. It was very epic. A lot of previews or whatever of people talking about it. They talked a lot about how the Russos really needed a lot of real estate, a lot of time to tell a great story. I can say every inch of this movie is necessary. I mean, albeit for some jokes and stuff, like it's still jokey. It's still Marvel. It's still like they throw in the jokes, but there is a very I don't want to say serious, because serious, like, you kind of think of like DC, which is just like, oh, it's dark. It's not dark, but it's a very serious tone within a lot of the movie. There's a lot of stakes within the movie as well too, and yeah, so there's a lot of stakes, and I'm sure many people have already said, but I will reiterate and confirm, just about every main character within the Marvel Cinematic Universe has their moment within this movie. So there's gonna be a lot, like, when you watch the movie, you're definitely going to enjoy the storylines. It doesn't have a lot of fluff at all, and it's one of the things I really liked about the movie. I think in terms of reviews, in terms of like a really great movie, and this is weird to say because it's a really good movie, but the thing is, it's a culmination of 10 years worth of material. So I will honestly say that it provided 100% really great closure. However, in terms of a Marvel movie, it's probably not going to be my favorite. But I don't think it's meant to be like anyone's true favorite necessarily. I think it's just like kind of looking at the path. I would even say this, like, if you went from Avengers, Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame, and if you watched those 4 movies like you would watch like a Lord of the Rings saga. The thing is, you watch Lord of the Rings, you don't just watch like, you know, like Return of the King, or you don't just watch the first Lord of the Rings. I can't remember what was the first Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring. You don't just watch that, because like the movie was kind of made to kind of flow. In retrospect, if you watched all 4 Avengers movies all the way through, you can see this really great timeline of characters that gets assembled, no pun intended. And I think that's why I can't really say it's my favorite standalone Marvel film. I'm not saying it's not good, it's very good. But I feel like it really, like this movie as well as Infinity War, I think like they all tie everything else into one epic saga. Which is really great considering it's a Marvel movie, considering that it is based off of comics and it's based off of being dedicated to like issue 1 of the comics all the way until like issue 53, 54, 55, however long that storyline ends. Just like when you'd read the Infinity War saga within the comics, just like you'd read Secret Wars, just like you'd read the New 52 events and stuff like that, or like what's going on right now with the Doomsday Clock with DC. You're reading the entire thing as one straight storyline. Everything individually is really good, but if you look at it as a whole, it makes a lot better sense. And I think that's what Endgame does. It's a really great movie. You should watch it. A lot of really great moments. Again, I won't spoil it, but again, it's a really great way to tie in the entire saga. I was basically breathless for a good part of the movie. I was like holding my breath. I'm like, how are you gonna make that work? How are you gonna make that work? How are you gonna make that work? And it all does, and it all works. It's a rough ride. I will say that as well too, because you got to remember what basically happened in the very beginning. Like Thanos snapped his fingers, and it's the entire saga is just basically, well, how do you get back from that? So it does a very good job in doing that. I am completely satisfied with the entire, like, I have a little bit of qualms, and I'll do that in my spoiler review, but for the most part, man, I don't know how you culminate 10 years worth of movies into one epic 3-hour movie, but they did it. The Russo brothers did it, Marvel did it, Feige did it, Disney did it, but they did a really good job. So that's the first part. You're gonna watch the second part. If you want a spoiler review, I'm gonna do the spoiler review right now. Alright, here goes, guys. This is the spoiler review. Once again, last chance. If you do not want the movie spoiled, do not watch from here. But 3, 2, 1. This movie was so incredibly epic because, yeah, like the entire storylines, the traveling back in time. I mean, you kind of knew when you watch the previews that it's like, okay, well, like if you watch the movies, you watch Scott Lang go into the quantum realm and then see how like time works and stuff, you kind of get that feel of like, okay, they're gonna go back in time. There was a really great segment where they were actually you know, like going with Ant-Man with Scott Lang and trying to figure out how time works. And I like how they explain it, because it's just like, it's a very weird way that they explain how time works and how they were getting it wrong when they were talking with Professor Hulk, which I love. I was like, oh, it's Professor Hulk. They made it so that like he didn't have to be all dumb the whole time. Mark Ruffalo just becomes giant, and it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna double down. I'm just gonna keep juicing on the gamma rays. But yeah, I like how they kind of explain. It's like, yeah, you're getting it wrong because it's like you're not going in time. You're not traveling through time. Time is traveling through you. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And yeah, a couple of really big, super huge spoilers. I mean, it's basically saying goodbye to 3 Avengers. I'll say it was hard. Like, for me, it was kind of hard to watch because it was like the whole time at the very end scene, like you see Tony like doing what he did. And this is spoiler, so it's like when he snapped, and I love the line. He's just like, I love the line because it's that planting and payoff. I love planting and payoff within movies, but the whole idea where Thanos basically keeps saying, it's like I am inevitable, I am inevitable, I am inevitable. He basically like, I am like what happens to who Thanos is. Like, he basically like keeps quoting himself as, I'm with this force of nature you can't stop. Ever since, like, you know, like the Thanos garden, when he's like, I am inevitable, and he dies, I'm like, yeah, they can't do anything about it. And right before he's about to snap, he's like, I am inevitable again, and it's just like, yeah, I'm like a force of nature, you can't stop me. But then I love the whole like counter, I am inevitable, and he can't do it, and he looks at Tony and just like, I am Iron Man. And it brings it all back. However, that probably was kind of like the telltale sign that we were gonna lose RDJ. And I mean, I will say honestly, I mean, it was so great. It was so great seeing his send off, but it was very hard to watch because I was like, I don't like. It was in that moment where like he was basically like about to go, and you're just like, wow, I'm really gonna miss you. It's just like it felt like you were saying goodbye to someone that you might see them again. Like you're at the airport and you're about to say goodbye to someone who lives in like this totally other country. It's like not even like for me, like as a Philippines, you know, like that connection. It's not even that. It's like you were saying goodbye to really like a really good friend who's gonna live in like this country you probably would never go to. I'm not gonna name countries because I don't want to sound racist, but it's basically this country. Or it's gonna go into space. It's like, I'm not gonna visit you in space. You're gonna just like live in like, you know, like the International Space Station. I'm probably not gonna see you. And it hurts because I don't know. Or it's like he's going to Mars. And it was like that. It was just like, I feel really bad because I know that this might be, if not definitely the last time I will see you. Same thing with like Steve Rogers. Like for me, like when he didn't come back, at first I was just like, well, he's gonna stay. But then when I saw him on the bench, and then you'll see it when you watch the movie, when you see him on the bench at the end, I actually thought he reverted back to puny Rogers because he was wearing the exact same getup when he first started his journey. Which I like. It was a really great touch from the Russos to kind of like, let's bring it all back into what he really wanted in the beginning. And yeah, like when you saw it and you saw that he just like, no, I just lived a life. And it was so touching, and it was hard to watch also, but like it was between the two. They were always thinking, it's like, oh, is it gonna be like, is it gonna be Anthony Mackie, or is it going to be Sebastian Stan that's going to take up the role of Captain America? But Anthony Mackie. So the Falcon's going to become the new Captain America. So they're probably swaying us, like, because Disney already has like the Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's probably going to be Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Captain America and Bucky. It's going to be a very interesting series I think I'm going to be doing on the Disney Plus streaming service. It's going to be so very interesting. So many touching moments. Because I'm running out of time, I'm just going to throw out when Tony Stark gets to like hug Spider-Man when he came back, and that was really cool. The whole on your left when everyone comes back through the sling ring portals. That's really cool. And then Anthony Mackie, Falcon, basically, hey Cap, can you hear me? On your left, and everyone just comes through. That was a pretty powerful moment. I mean, so okay, and then I'll probably end with this. Two of the really great kind of throwbacks to comics. Number one, the controversial Captain America comic where Captain America for a very short time becomes a Hydra agent, and he actually has to whisper "Hail Hydra" in the past. That wow was like so cool. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I didn't know that they were going to actually put that scene where he actually says "Hail Hydra," but they actually did. And then the other part, also Captain America references when he inevitably becomes worthy of wielding Thor's hammer, and that I knew it was in the comics. I don't know what issue it was. I'm not that super nerdy, but that throwback was so incredible. It's just wow. Yeah. So anyway, those are kind of my favorite moments within that. I mean, the movie was very hard to watch in the beginning because they really did double down on the seriousness of the movie and the tone, and just like it really gets you that it's like, wow, this is real for them. And the fact that they said it's like 5 years have gone by and they still can't recover, that does kind of bring, it's hard because you just say 5 years later and it's like, well, okay. And like it is hard when you just say 5 years later. Like, you expect the audience to basically, it's like, yeah, okay, we'll go through this journey for 5 years later. You could feel the audience kind of like get it. I got it. That was a really big bet for the Russos to basically say, hey, come with us on this journey 5 years into the future, where they're still struggling with how the world's gonna look. But yeah, I think they did a really great job. There's so much more that I would like to talk about, but I want to keep this short. Definitely watch the film. I'm gonna be watching it a couple more times, I think. I'm pretty sure. But you guys will definitely enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the parts that I enjoyed as well too. Don't spoil it. I was about to say, like, put it in the comment. No, don't put it in the comments, or at least wait 2 weeks if you still are watching this video, and then put your favorite things in the comments. But please don't spoil it for everyone else. Please just watch the movie, and within a week or two, maybe we'll talk about it, and that'd be great. But once again, my name is Kuya Paul. Great movie. Go watch Infinity War 2, basically. Endgame. Watch Endgame. Have a blast. And hope to talk to you guys about it in the next couple weeks when pretty much everyone's watched it. Okay. Thanks. Take care. This has been NerdDirt. Bye.